नमस्कार बच्चों, लास्ट टाइम हमने किया था न्यूट्रिशन इन प्लांट्स एंड न्यूट्रिशन इन एनिमल्स। तो आज हम डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं another life process, that is respiration. Respiration is a process in which food is broken down to release energy, and this energy is used for different life activities. Different organisms, they have different ways to break down food. The basic food which is broken down is glucose. However, other foods are also used, but they are first changed into glucose, and then glucose enters in the respiratory cycle. Most of the organisms, they use oxygen during respiration, but even some can do respiration without involving oxygen. So, here are the different ways. Glucose, it is a 6-carbon molecule. It is made up of 6 carbons. Here you see that it is made up of 6 carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is first broken to form 3 carbon compound. 3 carbon compounds are formed. The 6 carbon glucose, it is changed to 3 carbon compound which is known as pyruvate. Here this glucose changes into pyruvate in cytoplasm. This process is same in all the organisms, whether they use oxygen or they do not use oxygen. From pyruvate onwards, the pathway changes, and this process occurs in the cytoplasm of the cell. Some energy, it is released in these initial steps. Further pathway, it varies in different organisms. In the yeast, that can do respiration in the absence of oxygen. Here pyruvate, it changes into ethanol plus carbon dioxide. Ethanol is a 2-carbon molecule. This ethyl alcohol, 2 carbon और 1 carbon ये बच गए, तो that is a carbon dioxide, and plus small amount of energy is released. This process is known as fermentation. This also occurs in the cytoplasm. So, for the yeast, this is a pathway. Glucose, pyruvate, ethanol, carbon dioxide, energy. All this process occurring in the cytoplasm. For the higher organisms, plants, animals, this is the pathway where pyruvate enters into the mitochondria of the cell. We have studied in our 9th class that mitochondria is a powerhouse of the cell. It is a site of respiration, site of food oxidation, energy production. So pyruvate, it enters into the mitochondria, and then within mitochondria, in the presence of oxygen, it changes into carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So a complete breaking of this molecule, carbon dioxide, water, end products, they are very simple, and lot of energy is released. Now this occurs in all the higher organisms, including humans also. But in the humans, there is another way. Whenever there is oxygen is insufficient, lack of oxygen is there in our muscle cells, then pyruvate changes into lactic acid. Both are 3 carbon molecules. So carbon dioxide is not released here. Pyruvate changes into lactic acid, and a little energy is produced in the muscles. So we feel fatigue in the muscles due to the accumulation of lactic acid. थोड़ी देर बाद मसल्स का काम करने से हमें थकान होने लग जाती है, एंड मसल क्रैम्प्स जो है वो हम फील करते हैं. because of the accumulation of lactic acid. So these are the different ways by which pyruvate it breaks. Initial steps, they are same in all the organism. It occurs in the cytoplasm. Further pathway, it is different. Fermentation in the yeast, anaerobic, this is also anaerobic respiration, and then aerobic respiration in the higher organism. So this respiration pathway, glucose, pyruvate, carbon dioxide, water, energy, this occurs in the presence of oxygen. This is known as aerobic respiration. And this pathway where there is no involvement of oxygen, this is known as anaerobic respiration. This is also anaerobic respiration. So aerobic and anaerobic respiration occurs. The basic difference between the two is, one difference we have discussed, that aerobic respiration occurs in presence of oxygen, anaerobic in the absence of oxygen. Then about the site, aerobic respiration कहाँ पे होती है? साइटोप्लाज्म एंड माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया. शुरू वाले स्टेप साइटोप्लाज्म में, उसके बाद माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया में. एंड एनारोबिक रेस्पिरेशन ओनली इन द माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया. It involves exchange of gases between an organism and outside environment. Exchange of gases is absent because no oxygen is required. Then it always releases carbon dioxide and water. You say end products are carbon dioxide and water. Here the end products vary. It may be ethanol, as in the case of yeast, or it may be lactic acid, as in the case of human muscles. Both release energy, but the amount of energy released, that varies. Large amount of energy is released during aerobic respiration, and small amount of energy is released during anaerobic respiration. ATP is an energy molecule. It is unit of energy, adenosine triphosphate. 36 ATPs are released from one glucose molecules during aerobic respiration, and only 2 ATPs are produced from one glucose during anaerobic respiration. So, why large amount of energy? Because there is complete breaking of food molecule. Food is completely broken down, and end products, they are very simple. But here the food is incompletely broken down. एंड प्रोडक्ट इतने सिंपल नहीं है, छोटे नहीं है, अभी भी वो बड़े हैं. जैसे इथेनॉल, दैट इज अ 2 कार्बन मॉलिक्यूल, लैक्टिक एसिड दैट इज अ 3 कार्बन मॉलिक्यूल, दे कैन बी फर्दर ब्रोकन डाउन. तो वो आधे ही इनकम्प्लीट ब्रेकिंग ऑफ फूड है. इसलिए एनर्जी स्टेप वाइज रिलीज होती है. जब स्टेप्स ही थोड़े होंगे तो एनर्जी भी इसमें कम होगी. The example of aerobic respiration, all higher organisms, and here it is a yeast and muscle cells in the humans, that is the anaerobic respiration. Now just like the nutrition, we will discuss first respiration in plants and then respiration in the animals. Now, as we have discussed in the photosynthesis also, exchange of gases occur through the stomata, and this occurs by the diffusion process. This is a reaction of respiration, just opposite to photosynthesis. photosynthesis में हम ये चीजें प्रोडक्ट वाली साइड पे लिखते हैं और ये रिएक्टेंट वाली साइड पे. यहाँ पे क्या है? ग्लूकोज प्लस ऑक्सीजन ब्रेक टू फॉर्म कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, वाटर and energy, just opposite to the photosynthesis. तो ये plants में जो होता है, that is exchange occurs through the stomata. Then जैसा कि आपने सुना होगा कि हम कहते हैं कि plants के नीचे रात को नहीं सोते हैं. तो ये रात को क्यों नहीं सोते हैं? Because they release जो है वो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. But you know, respiration is a 24-hour प्रोसेस. वो दिन रात हमेशा होता है. तो बट व्हाट हैपन्स during the daytime also they release carbon dioxide, but there is also a photosynthesis process जो हमने डिस्कस किया था, और फोटोसिंथेसिस में कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड यूज हो जाती है, और रात को फोटोसिंथेसिस होती नहीं है और कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड ही रिलीज होती है। इसलिए हम कहते हैं कि रात को पेड़ जो है वो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड रिलीज करते हैं। अदरवाइज कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज रिलीज इज for all the 24 hours, but during the daytime it is consumed during the photosynthesis. Rather, oxygen is released as a product of the photosynthesis. Then इसके बाद हम आते हैं एनिमल्स में जो है respiration. Animals may be different ways for uptake of oxygen and removal of कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड। टेरेस्ट्रियल एनिमल्स यानी कि जो लैंड पे रहते हैं, दे टेक ऑक्सीजन फ्रॉम द एटमॉस्फेयर, लेकिन जो इक्वेटिक एनिमल्स हैं, जो पानी में रहने वाले हैं, दे टेक ऑक्सीजन फ्रॉम द वाटर। अगेन देयर इज वन डिफरेंस, वाटर में क्या होता है, ऑक्सीजन डिजॉल्व इज लेस इन अमाउंट एज कंपेयर टू ऑक्सीजन इन द एटमॉस्फेयर। क्योंकि पानी में ऑक्सीजन कम होती है, तो एक्वेटिक एनिमल्स दे हैव हायर ब्रीदिंग रेट एज कंपेयर टू टेरेस्ट्रियल एनिमल। हायर होता है ब्रीदिंग इन द एक्वेटिक एनिमल्स। टू टेक द सेम अमाउंट ऑफ ऑक्सीजन दे हैव टू ब्रीथ फास्ट। देन डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनिजम्स, डिफरेंट एनिमल्स जो हैं, they have different respiratory organs. लेकिन एक चीज कॉमन होती है, जो भी रेस्पिरेटरी सरफेस होगा, that is always thin, delicate, has large surface area and highly vascular. कोई भी रेस्पिरेटरी सरफेस है, जैसे फिश है, फिश में रेस्पिरेशन इज थ्रू गिल्स। गिल्स जो हैं फिश में होते हैं, वो क्या करते हैं, माउथ से वाटर लेते हैं, दे टेक वाटर फ्रॉम द थ्रू द माउथ एंड देन दे पास दिस वाटर टू द surface of gills which are thin, delicate, highly vascular, large surface area, and gills absorb oxygen. But in the higher organisms, these are different. Like in the humans, we say और भी हायर ऑर्गेनिज्म में क्या होता है, लंग्स जो है दे आर द रेस्पिरेटरी ऑर्गन। क्योंकि रेस्पिरेटरी सरफेस हमेशा थिन होगा, डेलिकेट होगा, लार्ज सरफेस एरिया है उसका, तो इट शुड बी प्रोटेक्टेड। थिन और डेलिकेट है तो इसको प्रोटेक्ट करना पड़ता है। तो यूजुअली हम देखते हैं कि हायर ऑर्गेनिज्म में रेस्पिरेटरी सरफेसेस इनसाइड द बॉडी, जैसे हमारा जो रेस्पिरेटरी सरफेस है दैट इज इनसाइड द लंग्स, सो यूजुअली इट इज विद इन द बॉडी, सो अ पैसेज इज रिक्वायर्ड टू पास द एयर फ्रॉम आउटसाइड टू रेस्पिरेटरी सरफेस। सो एक रेस्पिरेटरी पैसेज pathway that is required. So next time we will discuss the respirations in humans. Thank you and be safe and stay home.